It's time to talk about our feelings. Yeah, those feelings. No, I'm joking. Well, halfway joking. I'm not talking about, oh, I feel like I'm in love. I could just jump over the moon with excitement. Not those feelings. We might talk about those at some point, but not in this video. This video is talking about, yeah, I just don't feel like lifting. I don't feel like working out. I don't feel like doing what I need to do for my business. I don't feel like getting up early. I don't feel like saying I'm sorry. I don't feel like saying I love you. I don't feel like going into whatever uncomfortable situation you know you need to go into to become who you know you need to be. And the truth is, you don't need to be anybody. You feel like you do. You feel like there's this version of yourself running around somewhere, this perfect version of yourself that exists, right? And sometimes you feel like you can't reach that version. But you feel like you should be able to, and you feel like you should be that person every single day. The truth is, you're not. You're not going to be the person who just jumps out of bed with 100% excitement, who's over the moon, like I just said, and is ready to tackle the day. You're going to have days where you just don't have it. And those are the days that are going to make and break you. Those are the days that are going to decide who you actually become in this world. Because it's easy to do what you're supposed to do the things that are best for you when you feel like doing them. It's easy to eat healthy when, man, it's tasting great, my body feels great, everything, right? But what happens when you're going through a breakup? What happens when you just lost your job? What happens when there's drama at the office? What happens when your favorite team just lost in the championship? What happens when you're just in a bad mood? What do you eat then? What do you decide to put on your plate? Because the thing is, one bowl of ice cream isn't going to kill you. One bowl of ice cream isn't going to make or break your diet. But 3 bowls might. Making it a habit to have ice cream in your refrigerator, goodness. Making it a habit to have ice cream in your refrigerator. Golly, I'm struggling with that word today. Making it a habit to have ice cream in your refrigerator might. There we go. What are you going to do when those feelings come up? I don't feel like it. Yeah, I could do it, but I don't feel like it. Well, guess what? You're making a decision there, right? It's not a decision not to do something and hope that the best outcome still happens, that you get lucky, because deep down you know the truth. The truth is, you're not putting yourself in the best position to be who you say you want to be. Because guess what? And I'm going to use an example from my life, because it might feel like I'm judging you. I'm not judging you. I'm speaking from experience. And I've used this example on this channel a couple of times, but it's one that just hammers this point home to a T. I convinced myself that I hated writing. Not the act of writing and becoming an author and writing a book and being a bestseller and all these different things, right? The whole reason that you write a book to, hey man, I'm a published author. Look at me. No, that's obviously, that's lovely. Everybody loves that. Well, unless you don't like being in the spotlight or that, but everybody likes being recognized for what they do. Let's put it that way. And in this situation, right, I had convinced myself that the act of sitting and typing out words was something that I didn't like to do. So what happens when I have an idea for a 5-book novel series with a prequel series after that and a sequel series? So we're talking about 8 to 10 books. What happens then? Do you think I'm going to sit down and write every single day if I say, hey, I don't feel like writing? I actually hate writing. I hate typing. You're not going to sit down and write, because life is always going to get in the way. If you convince yourself, hey, I don't like working out, I don't like running, I don't like eating healthy, I don't like saying I love you, I'm just not the type of person. How many times have you heard somebody say this or said this yourself? I'm just not the type of person that does blah, blah, blah. But you want the blah, blah, blah result. You want a healthy body. But guess what? You don't like running. You don't like exercising. You don't like getting up early, going to bed on time, doing all the things that your body needs. And look, I'm about to go to a Brazilian steakhouse, and I'm going to have a great time. I'm gonna eat food, that I love to eat, and I'm not gonna think about a calorie. But at the same time, I didn't feel like lifting today. I didn't feel like getting my workout in. Guess what I did? Got up. I fell asleep. I didn't want to take a nap. I fell asleep. The nap took me. I could have said, hey man, I got the reservation. I'm gonna just go and have a good time. No. I got up and I said, hey, I'm gonna go get this lift in. 45 minutes out of my day, an hour out of my day, to go get a workout in, go get a sweat in, do something good for my body. Now, how much more can I enjoy the steakhouse? How much more can I enjoy the rest of my day? Knowing, hey, I kept the commitment to myself. I could have said, hey man, I'm just not the type of person to just wake up and just go work out. I'm just not the type of person to want to rush. I don't like rushing. I don't like having to, I know I got to make this video and do all that. I'm just not that type of person. So I'm just going to take it easy. I'm going to I'm going to just do the lift another day. I could have easily done that. And there are days where I have done that. But guess what? I couldn't enjoy the rest of my day because in the back of my mind, I knew I cheated myself. I let a commitment to myself slip. And you want to be honest with yourself as much as possible. If you make a commitment to yourself, you want to hold that commitment. You want to stay true to that commitment as much as you possibly can. Just like I made a commitment to myself, I'm going to make one of these videos every single day. I didn't make the commitment, hey, every video is going to get 1 million views. I didn't make the commitment, I'm going to have 1 million subscribers by the end of the year. I didn't make any of those commitments. I just said, hey, I'm going to turn this camera on and I'm going to upload whatever I record every single day. Most of the time, it's going to be unedited like this. And it's going to be me speaking off the cuff. I might not be able to say the word refrigerator. That's fine. Okay, we keep it moving, right? I could say, hey, I'm not the type to just share his thoughts and have those swimming out in the internet. But guess what? I'm somebody who wants to provide for a family one day. I'm somebody who wants to impact this world even after I'm gone. I'm somebody who wants to create and share his ideas. So I'm going to say no to YouTube because I'm not the type of person to just want to have that kind of vulnerable moment of stumbling over his words flying out on the internet, or the risk of somebody hating on me in the comment section, or taking what I said the wrong way. I could take those things and say, I could point at those things and say, yeah, I'm not going to do what I want because of those things. I don't feel like it. I don't feel like dealing with hate comments. Who does? Right? You have to think about what you do feel like doing. Right? I do feel like having a healthy body. I do feel like performing in my next professional basketball season. So I took my lift. I did my lift. I did feel like becoming a published author. And I do feel like somebody who can say published and refrigerator. There we go. Back to back. No, but I felt like becoming a published author. So guess what? Eventually I said, hey, I'm going to learn to love writing or typing. I might not be like, I'm not going to go to any typing conventions, but I understand that typing is a tool for me to get my story out there. And nobody's going to be able to write my story like I can. ChatGPT is not going to do it. I could give you what I have. I could give you the series, everything that I have so far. 95% of book 3 is done. I could give you that and say, hey, continue the story. You're not going to write it the same way I would write it. I'm not saying it's not going to be a good story. It might be a great story. You might write it better than I do, but it's not going to be the way I did. And that's the whole point of this. I could give you this channel and you could pick it up. You're going to take it in a whole different direction than I have. You're not going to have the exact same ideas that I have every single day. Doesn't mean my ideas are better than yours. I'm saying, hey, if you feel like this is something you want to do, number one, I'm there to help you on the journey, because I started creating content every single day. And on Instagram, it was messy. 400 views, less than 400 followers. But I stayed consistent. I showed up every day. I wasn't showing up for the followers. And now it's been 8 months, 7 months. We're at almost 13,000 followers. And it's growing every single day. A few thousand come every week. But how many days did I have where I said, you know what, I don't really feel like making a video? But I made a commitment to myself. With these videos, I could have said, hey man, I went and got the lift in, man, I'm tired. I gotta go get ready. I gotta get changed. I gotta shave. I gotta do these things. Nah, we're not gonna do the video today, or I'll do it later. No, I want to do it right now. Not because I super feel like it, but guess what? I turned the camera on and it started flowing. And yeah, now I do feel like doing it. Now I do feel like, this is exactly what I want to be doing. Because as you take action, as you start to do the things that you committed to doing, you're gonna realize, this is what I want to be doing with my life. This is how I want to be spending my time. Just like as I started my lift, that feeling of I don't feel like it disappeared. Of course, it was tough. It was tough. I had to push my body. I had to push my mind. But I walked out of there, man, like, yeah, that was good. It was good work. I'm glad I did it. And yeah, sun shining, hitting my face. That's an extra bonus, right? But that's not the reason why I felt so good. I felt so good because I knew I could have taken a different path. And I would have walked out of that steakhouse with a different feeling, even if the sun was shining, even if it was a beautiful day. So I'm not going to ramble on too much longer. I want to leave you with this. Don't focus so much on your feelings. Focus on the commitments that you want to make to yourself. Focus on where you want to be in 1 year, 3 years, 5 years. Think about the steps that you need to take. Don't focus on being comfortable, because growth is always going to be uncomfortable. Always. You being uncomfortable doesn't mean that you're unworthy of the steps that you're taking. It just means you're not used to it yet. Even the fact that you can take steps and walk, right? Most of us can. Most of us are blessed to do that. We don't even realize that we're blessed to do that. We walk around this world without even thinking about it. That was something that we had to struggle to do. It was uncomfortable. We could have stayed crawling. But you look around the world, who's crawling through life? Nobody. We're all walking. Some of us are running. Some of us are skipping through life. It just depends. But it required us going into discomfort. It required us stepping out of the comfortable zone of crawling, which was working just fine. But we knew somewhere along the line, instinctively, we were going to need to be able to walk. We were going to need to be able to run. And sometimes we'll need to be able to skip. I saw that skipping is actually a more effective method than running. It's less tiring than running. So it's kind of an inside joke here. And with me and my girlfriend, we kind of skip the places now. Let me know if you think that's a myth or actually facts. Like maybe it's a secret method that you could use in your life. But I'm starting to sweat. I need to get a shower. Appreciate you tuning in here every single day. So I'll see you tomorrow or on the next video, which should be here. And the options to subscribe should be here. Yeah. Always remember the best is yet to come, and I'll see you wherever you choose to see me next.